Hey, what's going on, people? Back again. Like I said, I'd be with this box right here. Real quick, as I often talk about the wrestling things, right? It's Thursday night, 3 days to WrestleMania, and I do wonder what big things are going to happen, because there's always something, you know? I'm kind of wondering if they'll do like a Roman Reigns heel turn or something, because it makes sense in a lot of ways, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so this, right? As some of you may have noticed, it is Thursday, right? So that's generally like the throwback day and all that. That's part of the reason I'm wearing this here fancy Bebop and Rocksteady, Beavis and Butt-Head style shirt, right? And it kind of works out because it goes a little bit along with what's in this here box. So taking those two things into consideration and the fact that it is a Nike box, well, then you probably have a decent idea of what's in here, so let's just get right into this, right? So, man, it's been a long day. It's been a long, long day. I was up so late last night. Alright, here is this. There we go. This is a Jordan box, as you can see where it says Jordan, right? So, man, this is something that I wasn't quite sure how to feel about it initially. I kind of liked it. I saw, I want to say it was Bobby's Sneaker World, had a preview, because these initially came out during All-Star Weekend in a small amount out there in the Charlotte area. And I want to say that's how he got his. And then they came out whenever later, and to quite a lack of fanfare. People were just kind of like, which I understand because things are coming out all the time, like constantly. So it's not uncommon for things to sit on the shelves for a little while now. And these, I saw them and they kind of were hanging out, and some other release didn't go my way, so I jumped on these instead. I don't understand why this paper is taped to the box though. That's like, it's seriously taped in there. Well, I think it's more of an accident than on purpose, but I'm just gonna undo that because I don't like it. Yeah, anyway, so without further ado, I present to you the Flight Nostalgia Air Jordan 9. So, this thing right here, a lot of people were just kind of not sold on it for whatever reason. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know if it was just the look. I mean, for some it's probably the look, but I don't know what it was more about. But every little video I saw of people being in malls and like talking about these up close as they looked at them in their local Foot Lockers and whatnot, they all said that the quality, the materials were pretty nice. They just didn't want it. And looking at these in hand, yeah, these materials are pretty nice. This is also my first pair of nines, so kind of curious about how this fit is going to be, but we'll figure that out later. Well, I guess in a few minutes. So just looking at it, taking it for what it is and everything. One of the things that drew me in initially, the glue stains on here. That's one of the things about some of these releases, and I believe it was Tasha Mac 13, 15? I have problems remembering the numbers in people's names sometimes. But she had recently bought a pair of shoes with a slight assist from me on account of that whole giveaway thing I did a while ago. And, she was talking about the glue stains and such that were on there. So this one, you can kind of see it, it's down in there just a little bit. It's stuff like that. Lots of times you can clean it up a little bit, but it's like, if you go off and you spend $170, that's what these came to after a little discount, you kind of expect things to not need to be cleaned up. Anyways, so I was just kind of doing like the little look through the shoes, make sure everything is kosher. And seems to be. So let's get this review going. Alright, just right off the top, like I said, the thing that brought me into these was the multicolored vibe going on, because you see like each shoe is just a little different. And it actually, even my mom, she messaged me a while. It was like, because I said something about, oh, when I bought her that Tupac shirt, and then she's like, oh, those Jordans with the blue bottoms, I liked those. And I was like, really? She kind of pays attention to that stuff now. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. Anyway, so looking at these across the bottom, I'm assuming this is kind of like just your standard sole. I'm pretty sure it is from the Jordan 9s, but I've never actually looked at one up close. I did almost buy those Shadows, but ended up just not pulling the trigger. So it's like some sort of hard plastic kind of feel. I don't know what it is, but it seems fine. Nothing crazy about that. But the lower part, the part that's colored, up until all around what's the black leather, that stuff feels immaculate. I'm gonna go with that as the word for the day. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It kind of feels like what's on part of the 7s, but this I'm definitely all for. And the leather on the upper here is feeling pretty nice too. Nothing amazing, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I don't think it's anything that people would write home about or like compare other shoes to in the future, but it's nice. Past that, on the lacing there, one thing that I've never noticed is like these somewhat bulky looking lace hoops. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing or anything. It doesn't bother me. It's just I don't completely like it, but it's such a minor detail and something that I will likely not notice. Speaking of things I don't like, also on the tongue there, and you can kind of see that, like if I just tilt it down, the tongue, it's got the Dream It, Do It on the tag there, and I don't like how this isn't like sewn down or anything. At first I thought like the shoe was like there was a defect and it was wrong, but both of them are like that, so that's just the way that's meant to be. But I don't know, I don't like that for some reason. But again, the things that I dislike about this are very minor details, and the things that I do like about it greatly overshadow those two minor things. Moving further back to the back of the shoe, you got the 23 on is this the same coloring? Okay, so it's a little different on each one, as expected. So one's got the yellow, one's got the blue. They're basically just kind of switched from the left to the right. And with this, with the Jordan logo kind of stuck on top of there, it's almost looks like a button, you know, because it's kind of raised up just a little bit. So it's not bad. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me one way or the other. It's a nice little touch though to have minor little details like that thrown in. And then you have this guy, it's kind of like a little pull tab, I guess, if you want to use it to help you put your shoes on, like I talked about in some other video not too long ago. But the fact that it's like hooked to a little sock liner type of thing going on there, that's just kind of weird to me. I don't see it being a problem. It's just like, as a design, it's just like a weird choice. But again, overall, I saw these and they're supposed to be like a big 90s sort of thing, which is why I was kind of making reference to the whole throwback thing and all that. But yeah, these are looking pretty decent. So, I mean, I don't expect them to be in one of those videos that pulls in a lot of views because people didn't seem to care about them. But in a little while, and let's see, if these came out earlier in March, what is it, like usually like 2 months or something like that before 2 to 3 months before they start hitting like the deep discounts in stores and stuff, and next thing you know you're seeing them online for 130 shipped right now. So usually around that time is when people start paying attention. Is one of the things I've noticed in certain videos that I've put up, like they don't get paid attention to, and then the time comes for them to hit sales, and that's when everybody's like, oh, what's this you say? Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna go too deep into this shoe because like there's not really a whole lot to say about it, and I can't speak on it because I've never had a pair on. So I'm gonna get these on, and maybe then I'll have some other things to say. I'm really hoping they fit, because I've heard they run a little small, but I don't know. We'll see in a moment. All right, give me a minute. Gotta, reset up things. So now that I've tried these on, one thing that I kind of like about them is these shoes really expand out a lot. I don't know if that's a common thing or not, but it's something I noticed on these. If you undo the laces, it was no help whatsoever for getting my foot out of these things, because I mean, people say they run small. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think it's just the way the upper part of the shoe is, like the top part of the shoe. Anyway, so let's get the videos in here so you can see how they looked on feet and everything. But these, I bought a 9 as I tend to do with Jordans, because for the most part they all run about the same to me, though the 12s is the exception to that. Also, little fun fact on Jordan 12s, those were modeled after the Japanese flag or something like that. That's kind of why they have the look that they have. And given the history of Japan and Korea, as somebody told me, those shoes are not sold here by, I mean, if you find resellers and stuff, there's that, but they were, maybe still are, banned from being sold in Korea, just because they have that whole Japanese influence thing, and they hold a bit of a grudge for some pretty solid reasons. So there's that for you. As far as this shoe goes, this one was, I believe this was the one that was designed from being based on his baseball career, and that he never actually wore these on the court to actually play basketball, at least not for any like length of time. I mean, they could have made an appearance, I'm not sure, but they weren't the highlight of a season. That's what I've been told, or at least read somewhere. Anyway, so yes, the sizing of these, people said that they run small. Having them on, I didn't feel that way, but your mileage may vary. I liked the way they fit, so I'll just leave it at that. Everything about these though, I don't have any complaints about buying this shoe, other than for the simple fact that they aren't selling, so I know that there's going to be a solid discount on these later, in the next like probably 2 to 3 months. Well, they've been out for a month, so probably in the next 2.5 months at most, there's probably going to be a pretty good sale on them. But it's one of those things, you take the chance whenever you buy anything early, and I did like these, so to me they were worth paying that price, right? The $170 I think is what I paid after the little discount. So I don't have any complaints. It's just that if you're on the fence and you're thinking about them, the quality of the shoes is great, right? I'm not going to take anything away from that. So if you just don't like the way the shoe looks, then okay, you just don't like the way it looks. But if you're on the fence for any other reasons, I'd say jump on them, just not right now, because of the whole thing about the price being, it's got to be cut soon. You know what I mean? I think a lot of places still have full sizes in stores and online, so just wait. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this review and everything. I like these a lot. I really do. The multicolor thing pulled me in, but then like the actual quality of the shoe and everything, that's what really sells it. Had I seen these in person, I probably would have got them earlier than I did. Anyways, so that's it for this. I will probably be doing another unboxing video in the next while, but I think the next arrival I have will probably be like it's Thursday right now, so probably like mid next week at the earliest, like Wednesday. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's it. This right here, the Jordan 9, the Flight Nostalgia, Dream It, Do It. Some call it a Martin Lawrence shoe. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, this is it, and it's looking pretty nice. So check it out. It's worth the look. All right, so you guys and gals, of course, don't want to leave anybody out. Have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and then I'll see you again soon. So Have a good night.